Welcome to Caseback Watches. My name is Tim and finally I can present you here a Sinn watch. I mean, German watch channel, German watch journalist, and finally there is the first Sinn here on the channel. And I said this before, I was never so excited when I saw a Sinn because I found most of them a bit too tooly, not ugly but a little bit too tooly. And then a viewer of the channel, his name is Christian, he lives here in town, asked me if I want to have his Sinn 103 ASB for a week or so, and he just was curious what I think about that watch. And here it is on the wrist. This watch is from 2015. You will not find it new on the market anymore, only used, 500 pieces out there, but maybe it's a good opportunity. And I must tell you, I'm a bit surprised by this watch. Some crazy aspects I hadn't expected in that way. But before I show you this watch in detail on the Lightbox, one sentence or three about Sinn. Founded 1961 by Helmut Sinn, and he was a former Luftwaffe pilot, so pilot in World War II. And so the focus of the first years laid on pilot watches. And with his concept of technically advanced pilot watches, Sinn was very successful. We've seen the first Sinn in space 1985. This was the Sinn 140S, and later versions of that watch went to space numerous times. And another important date was then 1994, when Lothar Schmidt, an engineer, bought Sinn, and he laid the focus more on advanced tool watches, not only for pilots or aviation enthusiasts, but also watches made of U-boat steel, for example, and with anti-magnetic materials, with titanium, so very, very advanced watches. And today you can see those influences, Helmut Sinn for pilot watches and Lothar Schmidt for the more advanced tool watches. And in Germany, the brand Sinn is not, how to put it, extremely popular. Many people know the brand, but it's like a good middle-class car. You buy it, but you don't make so many words around it. And I've experienced that watch enthusiasts from abroad, from the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, are sometimes more into Sinn than actual German buyers. But now let's go on the Lightbox. Now let's check out the Sinn 103 SAB. And here we are with our Sinn watch. Look at this beauty here. First, let's go over the measurements. We have a massive case diameter of 41 millimeters. The length overall is 48 and the height is 17.5. Believe it or not, 17.5 focus, man, focus in height. The watch is a classic chronograph. Here you find the hours, there are the minutes, and here are the seconds. You find here day, Mittwoch is German for Wednesday, and the date, of course. Inside is a Valjoux 7750, the well-known Valjoux. We have a sapphire crystal. We have a 120 click, or excuse me, 60 clicks, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 60 click bezel, bidirectional, with an aluminium insert. You see here, aluminium insert, very vintagey. On top is a sapphire crystal. Here you see an exhibition case back. There's the Valjoux marked rotor. And here you have the watch on a metal bracelet, on a Sinn metal bracelet, but originally it came with a strap. I will show you two straps in a minute. The watch is waterproof up to 200 meters, and to do this they have a screw down crown and screw down pushes here. And I think the most attractive feature here really is the blue in combination with the steel. Plays very well with the light. I'd love to show you the watch under daylight, but unfortunately it's raining outside. It's not very beautiful weather, but here you see it under studio light, and even here you have some really nice impressions. See that? Really great. The case form is rather basic, but here you find an interesting feature. What's this? This little eye here. This is an indicator for humidity. Believe it or not, it will change its color over time, and when it's fully saturated with blue, then the watch needs new seals. Then it's under danger, or in danger to suffer from humidity. I mean, this is absolutely a brilliant feature, because humidity is the first thing, or let's say the second thing after shock, which can ruin your watch. And there you have this indicator. It's just nice. I will show you a chart with the different colors in the second half of this review, or let's say in 2 minutes. And now let's operate it. Screw down crown as said, and screw down pushers. Let's unscrew everything here. There we are. Provides hand winding and very simple. With position 2, you can move the hands out of the way like this. Please note the form of the hands, very typical then, borrowed from aviation instruments in a cockpit. Very, very legible and very precise, those tipped hands here. And now with position 1, you can set, where it is, there it is, there you can set the date in that direction, and the opposite direction is responsible for the days. And this of course works fine. I mean, the Valjoux 7750 is a well-developed and yeah, absolutely good movement. So if you want to see how it changed, let's do it. Sometimes this can be very satisfying. There you are, little belay with day and date, and there you are. Okay, and now let's operate the chronograph. Very simple. You need some force to do it with a Valjoux. First push a full go and stop, and here you reset. The chronograph works well, and so this is how you operate this type of Valjoux movement. And now let's put it on the wrist. But first let me tell you, I said to Christian, no way, this is too big for me, 41 millimeters in this case height, this is simply too big. But he said, relax, give it a try, I have the same measurements as you. My wrist is 17 centimeters, so I think 6.7 inches, and it works. And I couldn't believe it, but actually it really works. I don't know how, I have a theory, we'll share it with you of course. But first let me show you how it looks like. And of course this is a massive big watch, but it sits on my wrist pretty comfortable. Although it's a very heavy watch, but it sits pretty comfortable on my wrist. See that? It's very high, but it doesn't wobble too much around, and so it's very comfortable to wear this watch. Absolutely crazy. But I think the responsibility for that has the bracelet, because it fits exactly. Absolute exactly. There is nothing, it's not too tight, it's not too loose, it's just perfect on my wrist, and so I can really wear this watch, and I've worn it over days without any problems. Absolutely crazy. And now let me show you the original straps, and I could imagine that with a strap this is not so comfortable anymore. I like the bracelet, so I don't like to change. So I will show you the straps like this. This is the original strap, blue on blue. To be honest, for me this is just too much. This is just too much blue. It's a nice watch, it's good looking, it's beautiful, but here this is simply too much. So I think nobody has worn this strap. It's slightly worn. And it came with another thing with the NATO. With this NATO, the color works, but do you really want to put this NATO under a watch that high? I don't think that this is a good idea. And so this is completely unworn, I think, this NATO. Yeah, I think really the way to go with this watch is this metal bracelet, or let's say another strap, a little bit more subtle, or maybe a textile strap. And one more word about the bracelet. Absolute stunning piece. I mean, the look, I don't know, to be honest. It's it's not so special, but it's absolutely robust. It feels great. It has very little tolerances, and it really attaches the watch firmly to your wrist that you can wear it. And so I'm extremely happy with this bracelet here. And by the way, the 7750 isn't famous for its rotation. Sometimes you really feel it on the wrist like a heavy piece of machinery. You see that? And the reason for that is that it winds only in one direction. So the direction without the winding function is pretty loose and can run like a rabbit, like this. But overall, this is really a surprise that a person like me can wear such a big watch. Very, very nice. And now I'd like to show you in the booklet this feature of this seal, this indicator for humidity. there you have it. This is a nice chart here, and there you see this pale blue is then everything's okay with the watch. This blue you can see here, and light blue, and this blue means go and send in the watch that we can renew all the sealings. So very handy, and I think this really prevents some danger. I just love this feature. By the way, here you see the owner, Lothar Schmidt, looks pretty much like an engineer, right? Pretty robust gentleman. So my resume here is very big watch. So you have to love big watches when you are after this one here. But it really works. And I think it's a bit like a car on the wrist. Sometimes you are in a big car and everything is nice and polished, everything works fine. And in a strange way, then you feel a bit protected and special and ready for action, ready to go. And this is the same thing with this watch. You feel a bit busy with this watch on the wrist, more busy than you actually are. Perhaps, but yeah, really nice experience. And so that's all I want to say about this watch. Let's go back. Okay, welcome back. As mentioned, the watch is not longer in production. So if you want to purchase it, and I think it is a good buy, then you should look for a used Sinn 103, okay? 500 pieces out there. The original retail price was around 2,000 euros. Depends a bit on your location, taxes, the varieties, and so. And I think now you can find it online used for way under this price. This is a bit of speculation. You have to do your research. But experience tells us if the limitation is 500 pieces, then you still find them used in good condition with box and papers on the market. Okay, this was my review of my first Sinn watch here on the channel. I've enjoyed it immensely. Christian, thank you very much for your trust. When you're watching this video, the watch will still be on my wrist because I have a few days left. And dear viewer, if you want to have sneak previews, if you want to know the next topics here on the channel, then please follow me on Instagram, caseback_Tim. And now let me thank you very much for your attention, and until next time.